So uh, I'm a little overwhelmed right now seeing this much of energy. But I had few questions before I wanted to tell whatever I wanted to tell. So the topic says, how can we make our business run without us? So basically you have to build something and move away from there, right? So let's go to the basics and start with, how do you even come up with the business first? Right? That's the major question. If you know what you're doing, then you know how to automate it. Correct? So, first, I want you to tell me, how do you generally think a business idea should come up? Anybody? Sorry? Real time problem. Okay. So what is a real time problem? A problem that we are facing. Okay. How do you identify that? In the daily life, what kind of problems are we seeing? Okay. So can we say traffic is a problem? Because I just faced it today. It's a problem. Okay. What else? Like, out of your mind, just float me a few ideas. What kind of problems are we facing every day? Don't say stomach pain, headache, and all that everybody's. Accidents. Okay, makes sense. Sorry? Pollution. Very good. Sorry? Queue management. Okay. So many people are there. We have like tons of ideas. I need like two, three more. No? Okay. So, pollution, problem for everyone. Traffic, problem for everyone. Queue management, problem for everyone. How many companies are working on these? You know any companies that are working on these? No. Could be, what are the possible reasons? Pollution, I don't think many people care. They'll say, smoke వస్తూనే ఉంటుంది. Right. Traffic, everybody curses, but nobody does carpooling. Kada? Does somebody actually tell that, hey, I'm going here, somebody wants to share the car with me? No, because my car is my car, none of your car. Right? Obviously. Next, what is the other one? Queue management. In India, queue management is the least concerned one, because if I go there first without you seeing, it is my thing. Obviously. It is you who is careless, right? You didn't care enough to be first. I cared, so I'm going. Okay? So let us forget why these problems are still not solved, and let us understand how is this problem, how are we identifying problems? First thing, the problem should be a problem to majority of the people, not just a problem for you, right? Now let us come to a example that we are using every day, that is chat gpt. What is the problem that gpt is solving? Gpt was one of the first very much booming ais, llms that have come up. So why was gpt that hit? Research. It helps so much with research. Okay.
Instead of going through 10 or 20 sites for one information, ChatGPT is doing like for us.
So it is basically giving you.
Give a quick answer, time saving.
But when GPT was launched, half of whatever it was saying was hallucinated, right? It was not like this. Like now we have Atlas. Anybody tried Atlas here? No? So Atlas is basically GPT's browser that they have launched. It is right now only in Mac, but very helpful. Leaving that aside, so GPT, when it was launched, its primary purpose was to give you information at one hand, right? Instead of going through 10 links, it said that I have data that has been trained on me till a certain date, and I can tell you what all has happened according to me, and I will give you this information. But how did we use it? We used it left, right, center, believed it, whatever shit it told. Correct. Even now, we used it as doctors also, therapists, friends, I don't know what all we can name, right? So the primary purpose of GPT was to give that information more like a search engine, right? It was built for that primary purpose. The way we used it, it's different, right? Now let us understand what is the problem statement that they have worked on. They said that we have an old version of search engine where every time we search something, there are 10,000 links that are given. And nobody is interested in going through all of those sites. So we need to have one thing that is going to give information that is important, that is like condensing it and giving straight to the point, right? So this is a problem. The problem here is not going through all links. Here we have this much. Take this. That's all, right? So goes for the coding part of it, right? So when you're identifying a problem should be for majority of the audience. Problem should not be just for you, right? This is the first thing when you are starting a business. The second thing is, once you have started, you have come up with an idea, first primary thing that you need to do is go to a few potential customers. Now here, identifying who your customer is and going to that person only makes sense. Otherwise, your whole business idea flops, right? So first, when you come up with a business, your first duty is to write down your customer persona. What does your customer look like? Is it a high-end fashion model, or is it a middle class studying student in a tier 3 college, or is it a top IITians, that top level or middle, or what? Who is your customer? You need to draw a complete persona of that customer, and then you need to go to that customer, that person, and tell that, hey, I have come up with a solution for this problem of yours. What do you think of the solution? And tell me, how can I better this? And if you have competitors, you need to ask that, see, this is what the competitors are doing. Now, how can I better this? Or if I give this solution added to what the competitors are doing, would you be able to pay me for what I'm doing? Right? Core of any business is the money you make. There, people will tell, nakem double oddu ani. No, everybody wants money. Obviously, right? If you have to scale, how will you scale? You'll say, I worked so hard, so please, I want to scale up, means somebody will give you that money. No. Everybody thinks, even if for somebody to come and put money in your company, they'll see how much resources do you have and how much have you built, how many paying customers do you have, right? So that money part is the most crucial one. Until and unless there is no pay, every customer says, okay, it's a good one, I like what you're giving, but will they pay for you or not is the question. Understood? Are you all stuck somewhere? Okay. Right. So now that we have paying customers, you do it for a small section of people, right? You tell that this is what I'm going to cater to these people, right? Now, once you have it, you have recurring customers, you need to scale it to multiple such small segments, right? We cannot capture the whole ocean at once, right? Let's fill small bottles first. Correct? Right. So now that we have all these small segments, we can group them all together, make them all into one, and as in how you are scaling up into multiple sections, you need to keep improvising. There is something called as inventory. So what is inventory? You need to continuously take feedback and make sure that the feedback, whatever feedback that you're getting, you are continuously reinventing your product. But that doesn't mean that no reason you are just, adding new features and all. No. You need to see that customers are already using existing features, and now as an addition to the existing features, you are adding something else. Right? And one major thing I want to tell is don't force fit AI into everything. People are now crazy that if I have the word AI, people are going to put money into me. No. Why are you forcing AI into your company? Right? AI is everywhere. You need it, don't need it, you decide. Correct? Does it make sense if I say AI biscuits? No, right? What if I say AI samosa or namkeen? AI powered. How does it even make sense? It doesn't, right? I've seen few apps or actually very recently I went to a hackathon. Students are force fitting AI into everything, which is not necessary, right? Without AI also, there are so many traditional businesses that are running right now. In billions they are doing, right? You know Haldirams? What AI are they using? Haldirams AI. Right? So it doesn't make sense, right? If it is necessary, maybe for the quality checks, you can use the AI, but the product itself should not contain AI only, and only AI based products I will do. Don't sit like that, right? Now, coming to how do you make your business independent from you, right? So, once the core of any business to run is one, your product fit. How fit is your product to go into the market and sustain itself? Second, how much resources do you have? So this includes your money, your team, the kind of marketing that you do, everything. Third major thing is you. These are the three factors. Now, you here are the main engine of the whole business, obviously, right? Let's say you have a co founder also, well and good, but let us think you're all solo founders, okay? Now, when these two are automated, the first and second one are automated, third one is not necessary in the whole picture, right? What are the first two? Product fit and your resources are sorted. Okay. Now, when I was mentioning before, when you build something in a system, after a point of time, the system doesn't require you, right? So when you are building, start small. Even I did a mistake of imagining the world, telling that I will do, like, I bought the stars and sky to the land and I said, I'll do that, this, that. But once you burn your hands, once you lose lakhs of money, then you'll get the pain, right? Because that's money, obviously, right? So instead, you start small, go lean as you can. And once you are done, then you see if it is good enough to scale. And good enough to scale also includes who are your teammates, how reliable are you on them. Ante, everybody Telugu here? Any non-Telugu people? Non-Telugu. Okay. సో ఇప్పుడు ఒకరి పైన నువ్వు నీ బిజినెస్ని వదిలేసి వెళ్ళాలి అంటే హౌ ఫిట్ ఇస్ దాట్ పర్సన్ అండ్ హౌ మచ్ కెన్ యూ ట్రస్ట్ దట్ పర్సన్? దట్ ఈస్ ద హోల్ ఇంపార్టెంట్ పాయింట్. ఇఫ్ ట్రస్ట్ ఇస్ నాట్ దేర్, నథింగ్ ఎల్స్ కెన్ బి డన్. కరెక్ట్? సో right. So first you see how much can you trust that person and how much can you give work to them. And don't dump or don't expect the person to do all of the work that you do with same amount of interest and that passion like you. Right. Okay. Now once this is done, now you scale. You have all these things. Now you scale to the next segment. So one part of the city is done. Let's say you did it in Gachibowli, whatever your business is. Now go to Jubilee Hills. Now go to Secunderabad, like that, right? So as and how you are building this, you will only understand that okay, these are the people I can trust, these are the people I cannot, this is how I can do, this is how I cannot do, right? And there is one thing, it is called keep it simple stupid. So it basically means anything that you're doing, don't overcomplicate it. Like I was mentioning, you don't have to force fit AI, you can simply also do it, right? So the same continues. You don't have to forcefully, complicate it, tell complex words that I'm working on a deep tech, startup. We are building the next LLM. No, don't do so much of overaction. I'm sorry to say like that, but no, don't do so much. You just say what is the LLM doing. Why anybody cares if it is deep tech or if it is LLM? You when you're talking to your investors, you tell that. What if ChatGPT came and told that we are an LLM and we do that, we do this? Nobody will give a damn about it, right? It just said you try this application. And one thing, see, I am a very loyal person to ChatGPT. I am being very honest. I use it on a very regular. I mean, almost every day. And now I cannot imagine my life without GPT. Of course, and that is how it has become. But if you see the marketing aspect of it, when GPT came, it only said, see, this is for free. Okay? You use as much as you want. Now, if you want it to have extra features, you pay me almost 2000 or 1500, whatever it is. And majority of the people using GPT were back then the software or IT going to or present in the corporate. Only these people were using. Students, it was not there so much. Now, once they got used to it, I am the live example. I got used to GPT. Now I cannot go without its subscription model. I cannot go without the plus version because all my projects are saved, and obviously I'm used to it. Now I'm continuously paying for it, right? Now the same thing they did for students also. What is this? Perplexity, Gemini, they literally gave for free. They gave for one whole year, they said use it for free. The reason behind it is once the people are used to it, they cannot go back. So basically, you're building a habit, right? So you build that habit in the people. When you are building a product or service or whatever it is, you have to make people understand what is your core business, and it is your duty to make them adaptable and make them used to your product. They should be like, I cannot go without this. How many of you know Harley Davidson? What is it? Bike company. How many? I mean, do you know that people tattoo Harley Davidson's logos and all that? But it's a company, right? Why are people tattooing it? Brand. So that brand got established so much that it has sold out the emotion behind the brand. So when you build a brand, you need to sell that emotion to the people. You cannot merely say that, see, these are the offerings I have, just buy it, right? Nobody cares. And no matter how much you have worked hard, okay, they might appreciate you for working hard, but still, what is it that they are getting? That has to be clear for them, right? Yes? Right. So now coming back, I hope I'm clear with how do you automate your business. Any questions upon that? It's okay if you want to ask. No? Okay. So, yes, please.
Is it best to have a co-founder with you when you're starting a business? If you don't have a co-founder, is it you use those AI models to assist you through all your processes until you find the process set?
So this is all Instagram language where they give. I have also seen reels where they say, I got a deal and they asked to get my team, and my team is GPT. Then there is Claude, and there is Lovable and all that. that the same reel that you're talking. So basically, it works on Instagram, but in real life, having a co-founder is good until unless you guys match on the vision. సో నీ విజన్కి వాడు ఎంత సింక్లో ఉన్నాడు, ఈజ్ హీ ఆల్సో రెడీ టు రిస్క్ ఇట్ ఆల్, బికాస్ బిజినెస్ ఇస్ నో జోక్, రైట్? సో అలా రిస్క్ చేసే లెవెల్లో వాడు ఉన్నాడా లేదా అన్నది ఫస్ట్ కన్ఫర్మేషన్. ఇఫ్ హీ ఈస్ రెడీ టు రిస్క్ ఇట్ ఆల్ లైక్ యూ ఆర్ డూయింగ్, and he is ready to put in as much efforts as you are doing, then it makes sense to have a co-founder. If not, having being a solo founder is also great, because ante you'll have that what do we say, control of vision. Okay, both plus and minus are also there, but it depends neeto part evaru unnaru anna dani paina depend aitundi. Any other questions? No? Okay, let's touch upon the second segment of it, the student led. So how many students are there here? Really? I'm surprised. Time up. Ayyo. Okay, just one last thing. Oh, it's hard to cover in there. Okay, I'll just tell, give me 2 minutes. So if a student is building a startup right now, it is important that you do your market research. Who are your competitors? Don't blindly come and tell, I'll build the next Book My Show, like how District has come. They have big pockets, not even small, very, very large, right? They will copy you like this. Whatever new factor that you have brought in, it takes not even half a day for them to put it, or to completely remove you out of picture. Understood? So what are you doing? Why are you doing? How are you doing? And you always start with the why. Why are you doing it? Then you go to how. How are you doing it? Then you go to what are you doing? Understood? So it's called the golden circle. So when you start with why, you will understand, or you will tell the opposite customer also, why is your product or your service the best. And to support your why, you're telling how are you doing, what you're saying. And then you go and tell them what is it that you're doing. I hope I'm clear. Right, so thank you so much, and it was lovely meeting all of you, and I look forward to meeting you all again.